Thank you so much, Colleen, for being here today.
You're welcome.
I think everyone is going to be super excited to hear your story, and let's get started. So, let's introduce yourself and tell everyone, what you do, what your story is, and just a little bit about you and your family.
Okay. So I'm Colleen. I am a mom to two kids, Jackson, who is 11, and Kaylin, who is 7, and married to my husband for like mm,
I love that we have to think
now.
about it. How long did
Yeah,
you say?
since 2004. Yes,
Oh, okay,
since
so
2004.
2 years longer than me. Okay, so
Um,
like,
and we live in Illinois, like right outside of Chicago. I'd say like 35-ish miles south of Chicago. So we're close to the city, but I don't like the city.
we get the best of both
Um,
worlds.
and I run Personal Paper Hugs, which is a greeting card company um, where I just make like fun and silly and sometimes inappropriate greeting cards and stationery.
Yes, which I love. And then what is your tagline that I love so much that you always like to say?
Well, I do too. I always like to say that I'm making snail mail great again.
Yeah.
But I also do my paper hugs are like a hug with a fold in the middle.
Oh, I haven't heard that one yet. I love that. That's really cute.
Thanks.
Um, I absolutely love your cards. I think they're hysterical. Everyone has to go and see them for themselves because when you think greeting cards, you tend to, happy birthday,
Uh-huh.
best of luck, good, like good for you. But your cards are like all of that, but with like a little bit of naughtiness, which I
Yes.
love.
Yes.
Which I love.
That's my personality. So
And to see you, like personally though, it's so funny because you wouldn't necessarily think you just look like such a
uh-huh.
nice,
But I'm
wholesome
not.
mom. So it's so funny. I love that. I absolutely love that so much.
Yes, that's so funny that you say that because I mean I've never really heard that, but I've actually always thought like people probably look at me and think like, what? She comes up with this dirty stuff, but that's just I don't know, my head, I guess.
I love it. I think that's the best. The juxtaposition of that, I think, is just so cool. I just love it so much. Um, so let's see. So how long have you actually been in business for?
I was trying to look that up because I knew you were going to ask me that. So I have been doing like personal paper hugs since 2014. But prior to that, I had like another shop that was, I don't know, probably I want to say from like 2012 to 2014, where I was still doing like greeting cards, but I had other stuff. And like, I mean, it was just one of those like, it was a hodgepodge of things. So
Yeah.
basically, I just like, I quit that and like took a little time and I don't know, rebranded and kind of just like started
That's
fresh.
interesting. So do you think that you were like safer with the first one as far as like you were trying to do more conventional, like traditional type of cards? Or did you still have the same kind of edge to them?
No, they were more, I wouldn't say that they were more traditional cards, but it started out a lot of it like where I started from was I used to like rubber stamp, like stamping. I don't know if people have heard of like I don't know Stampin' Up and things like that.
Oh,
So
uh-huh.
I started like a long time ago doing that.
Oh,
So they were basically like cards that I'd make and I'd put out there, but I eventually got to the point I was like I always like sentiments, and as you can see from my cards, like I like them to say what I want them to say. I didn't want it to just say happy birthday. Like I wanted to, get feisty with it or something.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
So I just kind of started expanding and making cards like on my computer instead of actually stamping. And I was like, wow, I love this so much more because I can do what I want. Um, so I just kind of moved away from that and just, I don't know.
I love
I guess
that.
like I tried to like centralize more because before I had like cups and stuff. It just was like, it was just like stuff I was crafting, which is fine, but
Yeah.
I don't know, I just realized I wanted to get more serious about it.
Yeah. And have like more like a direction,
Yes.
right? Yeah. I think a lot of people when they first start, I think that's a really common because you're not sure exactly, you have this idea, but then I don't know if you suffer from this, but I know myself, I get like shiny object syndrome.
Oh yeah.
Where like you get an idea, you're like, oh, I'm gonna go follow that idea.
Yes.
So I think as a maker and as a business owner, the more experience you get, the more you realize, no, you really have to focus
right.
and niche down on the idea or,
right.
collection or whatever. So
I still sometimes get, honestly, like, I don't know, concerned or worried because I have like so many cards for a variety of things, but I don't know. Part of me is just like, I just don't care. Like, I want people to be able to like go to my shop and instead of just buying one card, they can find like 3 or 4.
Oh yeah,
for different occasions. So it's
absolutely.
just you sometimes hear a lot of um, uh, advice on like narrowing it down and finding your niche and like
Mhm.
I'm like I don't want to plug myself into just one thing because I like to send stuff out for all sorts of different reasons.
Yeah. No, absolutely. And I think when people go and they see your shop, they see, oh my gosh, like I can't just buy one. There's so many. It's so hard to choose. So,
Right.
Oh, that's really cool. So I didn't realize you had another store.
Yeah.
So, oh, very cool. So let's go back then. What inspired you to actually launch your business?
Um, Honestly, probably just like my family and my friends because so I had my son in 2007 and I was just staying at home with him and I've always liked crafting and paper stuff or whatever, and like I said, I was stamping cards and I just kind of started to sell things to like friends and family a little bit here and there on the side, and then they just kind of started saying, well, you should sell your stuff here or whatever, and I tried a few craft fairs, um, and then I just started doing research, and that's when I found Etsy.
Yeah.
So
Uh-huh.
it was probably like I want to say like 2011 is when I found it and like started stuff up,
Yeah.
and it just I don't know, it kind of just was like a fluke, like on a whim, like all right, let me see how this goes.
Well, were you scared? I mean, so you were saying that you were staying home with your son anyway. So it's not like you left a job and then decided to go off on your own, right? You had
Right.
already been.
Right. Yeah. Prior to my son, I was a nanny for like 6 years for a family.
Mhm.
So I've always been in childcare, and then of course I had more patience for those children than mine.
Yeah, right. I can see it.
But so yeah, so we had just decided that when I had my son, I would quit working, and I mean eventually our plan was for me to like go back into something,
Mhm.
but it just I don't know, it kind of just all worked out like this. So
Yeah. Oh, that's really cool. And now you said you have 2 kids now, right?
yes.
So now how have you noticed running your business? So how old was your son when you started your business, you'd say?
I mean, he was like like let's say 1,
So he was really little, right? So right from
Yeah.
the beginning, like you figured out how to kind of balance.
Although, no, I should say, no, that's like when I just was like selling to my friends and family. So
Mm-hmm.
probably when I started like my first shop on Etsy, which was 2012, my daughter had already been born and she was about 1.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's how it is. Yes.
Yeah. So you were able to, right from the beginning, then like to figure out how to balance, because you're staying at home with them and you want to go to the park and do all that
Right.
stuff, but also obviously run a shop and marketing and all the businessy kind of
Right.
stuff that goes with it.
I can't say that I have found the right balance, but I try. I really have a good system in the summer. It's just because in the summer I get up and the kids do their things in the morning and
Mm-hmm.
I work until noon. And then we have lunch and we've got a pool in the backyard and then we go outside in the pool or whatever. We do stuff in the afternoon. But for some reason, I'm honestly all over the place during the day when it's hard to start sitting down in the morning and working because I've got to get them off to school and pack lunches and whatever. So I try to get like the most of my stuff done in the morning after they go to school and before lunch. And
Mm-hmm.
then I don't know. I usually find in the afternoons it turns into a shit show. Sorry.
Well, you know what? I love that you say that though, because I mean, I 100% relate to that. 100%. It was difficult when my kids were all home, starting and stopping a million times. It's like you never
Oh,
get the momentum, right?
yeah.
So it
Uh-huh.
wasn't until they all were in school full time that I feel like I really got to get some traction,
Yes.
get
Yes.
something accomplished, like a start to finish task. But even
Right.
now, it's still like I know that feeling like you're just trying to get them on the bus and then
Right.
get to the next thing, and and then you're counting down, like I'm counting down. I'm like, oh God, they're going to be home in 45 minutes. Come on. I gotta get
Yeah.
going. So, I love hearing that though, because I am such a believer in, we love to think that there's this idea of balance, but that is such crap. There,
No, there's just no way because there's always just something different. You have kids. It's just
yeah.
something's
And a
happening.
house and a husband and then pets and blah, blah, there's so
Right.
much. So
Right.
yeah.
And sometimes, my laundry takes way too long to get done, and I'm like on top of things with work, and then sometimes I'm not on
Yeah.
top of things with work, and maybe I get my laundry washed, dried, and put away all at once.
Yeah. Or like us, it sits in the basket. So,
That's
that's our
usually
dresser.
it.
Oh, I love that. So what would you say, this is kind of a nice segue into, what would you say has been the hardest thing owning your own business?
For me, it's just honestly, this might be like a generalization, but doing it all myself, because obviously, like I do the customer service. I have to answer questions for people. I have to do all the listing of stuff in my shop, taking care of like the website, doing social media, actually getting the cards out because I print them at home, I cut them, I fold them, I package them all up, and then doing like the numbers and money side of things. It's overwhelming.
Yeah. No, yeah, and you only have so many hours in the day.
Right. And sometimes I'm like, gosh, I wish I could, I'm not really at a good spot where I could like actually hire somebody maybe for like a couple hours, but I'm so um OCD and anal about things, and I'm like, I don't know if I could teach anybody to do it like how I want it done.
Mm-hmm.
It probably sounds crazy, but I bet people can relate to that.
100%. I have my hand raised. I feel that when you create something and it's like so close to your heart, it's very difficult to like,
Yeah.
like
I'm
let it
like,
go.
what if they write the wrong name on the envelope and then I send it
Yes.
to the wrong person? Like, I think I will have more anxiety with that.
Yeah.
So
And you'd
I
be
haven't
over
done
their
that.
shoulder, double checking, and
I
yeah.
have actually gotten my son to help me recently. He will, like, when I mail the cards, I have like a good, rigid, card stock to keep everything from bending.
Uh-huh.
So I have taught him how to score. It's like it helps like indent the line on the card stock to fold it.
Hmm.
So I taught him to do that and fold it and stuff my envelopes. Like
Oh,
I
well, that's
put
good.
cards in there, but he's got it like pre-made for me.
That's good. See that? See,
Yeah.
at least you have
He
some help
he
going.
earned his Xbox time.
Yes. Oh my, I'm gonna have to start doing that. I like that.
It's genius. I'm like, oh, you want to play? Well, I need 20 of these. Thanks.
Yeah, really. I have three little helpers I can like I have to
Yep,
figure
and
out
I've
what they
even
can
gotten
do.
my daughter. She's a little more careless,
Yeah.
but I've got like a stamp that I put on the outside of my packages. So I've had her stamp the envelopes because little busy work like that obviously takes me time.
Hmm.
So I'm like, well, at least I can, you know, have them participate a
Yeah,
little
absolutely. Oh, I love that so much. I love that. And I love being able to like to hear that, all those little details that when you receive something, you don't necessarily know that, it's a one woman show, like her kids are helping her, like stamping the envelope. That's so cool. I love all of that.
bit.
Um, so what would you say is the thing you're most proud of in your business?
Um, I feel like this is a general too, but basically it's just like being where I'm at, like seeing what I made for myself. Like I honestly never, when I first started this, it was just kind of like, we'll see where it goes or whatever. And I never thought that I would be doing like this full time. It's like
Yeah.
this keeps me busy. I think even sometimes my family will ask me, like, oh, so how are your orders? And I'm like, it's the same as always. I'm busy. I'm busy. Like. It's
Oh,
like
that's
sometimes
awesome.
I feel like they don't, not that they don't think I'm serious, but
Uh-huh.
they don't quite grasp it. They just think
Yeah.
like, oh, maybe I'm making a card here too, and I'm like,
Yeah.
no,
No,
this
this
is
is a real
really
deal business.
9 to 5,
Yeah. Yeah.
which
Exactly.
is good. So I'm
So
very
when
proud of myself.
So when would you say is the moment when people ask you, oh, what do you do? And you stop saying, oh, I stay at home with the kids. And you started saying, I run personal paper hugs.
Honestly, it's so sad. I don't think I still haven't gotten to that point
You're
yet.
still really?
Yeah, I just say like, oh, I just work from home. I just do this, and I hate that I do that.
Hmm.
And I recently got pointed out to me. I think like, well, it's been a couple months. I think in February, I was with some friends at a party, and somebody asked me what I did, and like I hesitated, and my friend saw it, and she goes, she runs her own shop on Etsy, and I was like,
Why is it
oh,
so easy for them to say, but for us, it's like hard to
yeah.
admit, right?
I always feel like, well, so this is what I do, and I feel like people don't. I don't know. I need to have like more confidence in myself and say, well, this is what I do. But
100%. Yeah, 100%. No, I can relate to that though. Yeah, I still work with that and trying to figure out and not stumble over my words and
yeah,
trying to explain what it is and yeah,
right.
totally. Yeah.
And
Oh,
like things like this make me feel so like legit or whatever. I'm like,
uh-huh.
oh, I have a conference call,
Right?
My
Because
husband's
we
like
are
always on
legit. Yeah.
calls. And I'm like, well, this is for work.
Yeah, absolutely. And you know what? Look how much time and energy that we put into it. I mean, I don't know about you. I'm assuming the same. I feel like I run two full-time jobs. Like you work harder for yourself than you ever would for somebody
Oh
else,
yeah, for
right?
sure.
Yeah,
Yes.
totally. Yeah. So I hear you, girl. So okay. Ooh, this is a good question. So where do you see yourself and personal paper hugs in the next, let's say like 5 to 10 years?
um, I don't know. Like I've always been bad with that conversation. Like even when I've like gone on interviews, and they ask me, and I'm always like, I don't know. I want to be married and have kids. That's probably the worst thing you could say.
Yeah.
Um, but I I'm content like where I'm at right now. Like
Hmm.
I do enough that I get to pay for my kids to do extra like activities and do fun stuff. And I don't want to stretch myself like too thin. But I will say like the one goal that I've had, it's almost been for like a year and a half now. And I just honestly it's because I'm so busy I can't find more time to focus on it is to do more wholesale orders. Like I want to go that route, but just getting set up for that, like making like a line sheet,
Yeah.
yeah, it's hard for me to actually find time.
Well, that maybe part of the 5 year or 10 year plan would be to actually bring on an assistant, right?
Yeah,
Because then maybe you would actually, you could kind of delegate that sort of stuff.
right, right. So I'm looking into that. I'm like, okay, it was supposed to be 2018, but hopefully 2019 I will get something out there.
Yeah, yeah,
So,
yeah. Well, that's great.
um,
And I don't think you should feel bad or anything about being content in your business. I feel like, we're always pushed to, you're going to grow, you're going to get bigger, you're going to be the next target, and I think it's really nice to feel content and
mhm,
happy and, you know,
yeah,
in
I
what we're
definitely, I
doing.
mean, I definitely want to grow and I want, get myself out there more and
Mhm.
whatever, but I am happy where I'm at. Like, cause sometimes I find myself being like, oh, I want to do this or I want to do this. And then I like take a step back and I'm like, wait, you know, like slow your roll.
Yeah. 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 No, I totally get that. Um, oh, okay. So if you could give one piece of advice to a mom looking to start a business, what would it be?
So I thought about this a little bit and I feel like it sounds like I don't know, it's not doesn't sound negative, but just be ready to work for it and to know that you have to push yourself. And honestly, my thing is to be ready for you're gonna feel all the feelings of like guilt, and second guessing yourself. And um, you just have to tell yourself that when you're having these moments that you got to remind yourself that you're doing it for you and for your family.
Hmm.
Because I know I see my kids see me busting my butt, and I just hope that they're proud of me. And sometime later in their life, they'll realize, what I was doing for them. Because I try to show them, like, I'm doing this so that I don't have to go somewhere to work and be away from you. I can be home, but you have to like let me focus
Yeah.
and you know because I'm doing this for you. So, but it is hard. I mean, especially we all, as mothers, we all know that mom guilt is like
Hmm.
awful.
Yeah.
And you feel like you're the worst mother ever because like they're playing on their iPads, but you really need to get this order out. But, you
Hmm.
know,
Yeah.
I just try to tell myself, you know what? We have a house over their heads, we're fed, and they know that I love them more than anything.
And you're
So,
setting a good example. I always try to remind myself that too, where I feel I was really not, I shouldn't say bad about it, but when they were younger and before I started my business full time, there was so much all my focus was on them.
Right.
and everything I did was about what play date we were going on, which park are we going to visit, like 100%. And then I feel like I almost was too focused on them, because when I did try to pull back and focus on myself and my business, there was such an initial backlash from
Yeah.
my family. Like, what do you mean?
Uh-huh.
You don't have dinner ready. What do you mean? And I think that's actually, it's not healthy, in my opinion, to show them that they are the be all end all
Right.
center of the universe, and that, mom needs to fulfill her passions and creative, endeavors as well. I don't just 100% give up my life just because, you
I
happen to,
agree with that so much so.
so I think we're setting a really good example for them too, for
Yeah.
later on, knowing that you can be happy, you can, run a business or whatever your passion happens to be true to yourself, and also have a family. And it should be
Right.
a good, give and take
Right.
for that. So I hear in that one. Okay. So, these are my fun questions. Okay. So, if you were, I like this. If you were a new addition to the crayon box, if you were a new color, what color would you be, and what would your name be? What would we call you? My favorite
Well,
shade
people
of.
people know me. I'm gonna be pink, and it's gonna be glittery. And let's see, I don't know, it'd be called like unicorn pink or something. Those
Nice.
are like my three favorite things: pink and glitter and unicorns.
Oh, that sounds great. That's perfect then.
I'm like
I'd use
a 9-year-old girl trapped in a 30-something body.
a crayon. Okay. All right. So if you like right after we got off this call and you just like happened to go outside and you found a lottery ticket, and tonight when they called the numbers, you won 10 mil, like what would you do with all that money?
um, I don't really know. I don't play the lottery.
That's
Um,
not part of the question.
I
It's
know,
make
but
believe.
okay, so if I won, I would obviously do like what most people probably do, pay off their debts, and I'd probably pay off my family's debts, um, and maybe go on a big like vacation, you know, and I have always said like if I had, more money or lots of money, I would definitely pick some causes and donate money, like, do some good deeds.
Yeah. What kind of causes are close to your heart?
um, Cancer. I lost my mom to cancer, and I lost my aunt to cancer. I've lost too many people to cancer.
Hmm.
And my nephew a couple years ago was diagnosed with cancer, but he has beat it, so he's in college and he's doing well.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
So yeah, just cancer sucks. So I probably focus a lot of it there. And my aunt was always um, really all about the St. Jude's Children's Hospital.
Hmm.
So I'd probably do some stuff with that. Uh, but yeah, I don't,
I want you to win the lottery. No, I want you to win the lottery.
me
I'm sending
too,
you
me
all the good
too.
vibes.
I mean, I really don't need all of that. Like, I just need something to, like, keep me, afloat for the rest of the couple of years. And honestly, I would still do what I do. Like, I would still work
Now
because I
that
love it,
tells you right there, what an awesome thing, right? To know that no matter how much money, whatever your situation financially would have changed, you still are on the right path. That's a
Right,
great.
yeah. I just love crafting. I might actually hire somebody. So let's put that in there.
Let's
If
put
I
that in
won the $10 million, I would hire some people to help me.
there. Okay, I like that. Cool. All right, this is my last question for you. Name 3 things that you absolutely cannot live without.
um, so I don't know if this is like, just like a fun question, or, like I don't
I
want to say it my husband and my kids,
Well, yeah, yeah.
Aside from those things, Netflix and like TV in general, I am a TV-aholic. That's like my escape. People are always like, what do you do to unwind? I like to sit on the couch, watch a show, don't get bothered. Like, it's just my escape from reality. And it
Okay.
really always has been.
So you're bringing
Uh,
Netflix. All right.
Coffee. And since I can't narrow it down, it's going to sound terrible, but alcohol. Um, because, I can't just say just wine, because I like beer, I like wine, I like mixed drinks. I promise I'm not an alcoholic. I just like a good beverage.
Well, you have to balance it out. You got your coffee, so you're good to go. You got your Netflix, your coffee, and you got your drinks, your drinks. So
Yep.
I can get down with all those things. That sounds pretty awesome. Okay, so it was so awesome finding out more about you, Colleen. I know I've talked with you a little bit, like in different groups and stuff, but it's really nice to get to know you even more. And I'm sure everyone who, hops on and now they see that I'm carrying your holiday cards and your other card sets. So now they know more about you. And I think everyone just, you can't help but love you because you're just such a cool person. So I really appreciate you coming on here with me. And now tell everyone where they can find you.
Okay, so I'm on like Instagram and Facebook. You can find me at Personal Paper Hugs, all one word. And then you can find me on Etsy, but it's just easier. I have it hooked to my website, so it's just personalpaperhugs.com.
That's easy.
Yeah.
Easy peasy.
Yeah. Personal Paper Hugs. That's all you need to know.
Yeah, awesome. All right. So, well, thank you so much again. And I can't wait to show everyone all of the cards that I'm carrying from you too. And they're actually one of the things I'm like so excited about for each of these curated gift boxes we're doing for Christmas. One of your cards is going to be, one of your holiday cards is going to be in each and every box.
That's
and
awesome.
You'll be able to choose from, I believe we narrowed it down to 5 choices, I believe. So
4 or 5, yeah.
4 or 5 choices. So, and they're all hysterical. So, very exciting. But yeah, so thank you again. And I'll let you get back to it before your kids get home.
Yes.
And if it's like my house, all hell breaks loose. So
yes, that's exactly what it is.
Okay, awesome. All right. Well, take care, Colleen.
Thank you. You too. Thanks for having me.
Okay. All right. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.